this is Lucky. We're doing pair programming today with Bhabha, and we will be doing the chapter 8 chapter project, which is a word scrambler. I will be driving, and Bhabha will be navigating. So, just to explain the code that we have here. Firstly, what we expected to do with this web scrambler project is that we're supposed to create a function that returns a value of a word and scrambles the letter order with the math.random function. So I started off by creating a variable called word, and in that variable we put just a random word, encyclopedia, the word we chose. And as you can see, if I log it on the console, there it is. And we then created a function called scramble that takes a argument string, and within that function we created a variable called string length, which contains the length of the string that is given to us through the argument. And then we created a variable that is a temporary string at the moment is going to be an empty string. And then we create a for loop that would loop it's going to loop for the amount of times that matches the length of the string, and each time it loops it's going to create a random index until we have a number of indexes that's equal to the length of our string. Then we created a new variable called the new letter, which will hold each index, and will concatenate these indexes to the empty string, temp string. And then after that we take the string that was given to us as an argument, and we use the substring method to remove the first letter and then return the rest of the letters. We do this by using this, by taking the index 0 as an argument to remove the first letter, and then we return the number of index characters, and we concatenate this to create the rest of the word without the letter. And then the function at the end returns the temporary string that's been concatenated with all those substrings. And at the end of the function, when we log it to the console, when we call the function and log it to the console, as you can see, we get this word right here, which is the same amount of letters as the original word, but they are now scrambled. Yes, that was chapter 8, the word scrambler project. I shall now move on to the countdown timer. So with the countdown timer, we're expected to create code for a countdown timer that can be executed in the console window, and will show the total milliseconds, days, hours, and minutes, and seconds remaining until a target date is reached. So we first started by creating an end date, which was the 9th of August 2024, and then we created the function that does the countdown. And in that function we created 5 variables. For firstly the total, which is the end date, we were just passing the end date that we created here into the date notation, and we kept it in a variable called total. And then we created a variable for days, in which we take 1000 milliseconds and we multiply it by 60, then 24 to get the number of days. And then similar thing with hours, we multiply it by 60 and 60 with the modulus of 24 to give us the remaining hours. And then we do the same thing for minutes with the modulus of 60 to give us the remaining minutes, and we do the same thing with seconds with the modulus of 60 to give us the remaining seconds. And then we create an object here called remaining time. And then in this object we have 4 properties, one for days, one for hours, one for minutes, and then the last one is for seconds. And then we return the object as part of the function, and then we call the function here. When we call the function, it's gonna give us the object, it's gonna return the object. So we use that within the update function. We created an update function, and within the update function we create a temporary variable using the object that we created in the previous function, and then we create an output, which is an empty string. Then we loop through each property in the countdown, in the remaining time object that we returned from the countdown function, and then we concatenate to the output string each property in terms of a string, as you can see here, with separated by colons. So the property and the property value will be separated by a colon, and we log the output to the console, and we have a recursive function here to just keep we have a recursive function to keep the updates running. So if I open up my countdown.html, we can see it at work, and as you can see, it keeps giving us an update. So yes, that was chapter 8. In this chapter, we dealt with many built-in methods. These methods are handed to us by JavaScript, and we can use these for things that we'll often need. So we went over the most used global built-in methods, which are so common that it can be used without being prepended by the object they belong to, and we also discussed array methods, string methods, number methods, and date methods, as you saw. So we'll find ourselves using these methods a lot and chaining them whenever they return a result, as you can see with the date project. And now we are familiar with these, and we'll spend the next couple of chapters diving into how these work alongside HTML. Thank you.